During these 2 days, we've been talking about warehouses, the healthcare sector, the retail sector. So we thought of looking at it from a different point of view, which is the aviation. And here I would like to present how we are trying to utilize these trends and technologies within the aviation sector. Just a small background before I start about our company. Inform is a company from Germany. It was established in '69, and we are a spin-off of a university, the Technical University of Aachen. And our business is software technology. So we don't have anything to do with hardware business. Our core competence is mathematical logistics optimization. We have about a workforce of 500 professionals from 30 nations, and they are all 90% based in our campus in Germany. These are our strategic business units in the company. So we basically have general logistics, industrial logistics, aviation logistics, material logistics, production, risk, and fraud. So actually we do operate in areas where many of you are operating here, in healthcare logistics, container transportation logistics, and so on. Perhaps the risk and fraud is a bit of an exception. That is basically in the financial sector. And we have a technology to detect risk and fraud, particularly in transactions. I am representing the aviation business unit here, and this is the focus of my presentation. So what we do in the aviation business unit is basically we have 4 types of customer segments. One is the ground handling. These are typically the companies who are providing services to the airlines. We have the airlines as customers. We have airports and what we call special operations. These are typically the companies, again in the aviation sector, providing services such as security, aircraft engineering, aircraft maintenance, and so on. So, what is our product portfolio to cater to these different segments in the aviation sector? Well, we have a range of products which are designed and tailored to cater to the requirements of these different segments. So the airline has different requirements, handling companies have different requirements. So we have a bunch of solutions here, such as airport operational database systems for the airports, flight information systems for the airlines. But what I want to focus on is this section here, because this is about logistics. And these systems down here are basically systems which support the logistical operations at the airports. So whenever the aircrafts come in, we need to plan the people, we need to plan the equipment, and then we have to dispatch the people and the equipment. I don't want to focus on the product, rather on the processes and the solution. So in a nutshell, what we basically do is we support what we call all core processes in aviation. This means typically when an airline is going to fly to an airport, they need to do a contract with the airport authorities. They have to do a contract with the handling company who's going to provide the service. So basically we have solutions where actually starting from the contract, we have contract systems where they can do the contracts by using our solutions. They can build all the flight information via using our systems. We move up the ladder. Then, of course, once they start operating, you need to plan the operation. So you need to plan how many people do we need to serve this airline, how many equipment is required to serve that airline. So we have solutions for that. Then comes actually the day of operation. So the aircraft actually lands at the airport, and you need to go and serve the aircraft. So we do have solutions for that as well. You need to monitor the performance of the service you're providing. We have solutions for that as well. All the way up to invoicing the customer at the end of the operation. We have about 200 installations worldwide. So on every continent we have an installation, and this is just a snapshot of some of the airports we are working with, quite a lot of handling companies we are working with, and a bunch of airlines that we are working with, which I'm sure most of them are familiar to you. What I would like to highlight here is that we have some customers which have about 800 people operation, whereas we have companies with 7,500 people. That's just people. But big companies, we are talking about 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 pieces of equipment that we also have to manage. So our focus is, as I mentioned before, we are not the logistic provider. We support logistic companies to optimize the processes. So our main focus from this point of view is, let's take, for example, just a simple example. The aircraft arrives, and when the aircraft is on the ground, there is a very limited time that this aircraft has to take off again. Basically, they get a slot from the airport authorities, and as long as the aircraft is in the air, they are making money. As long as they're on the ground, they are losing money. So every airline has to turn around very quickly. So it is often the case that many airlines, especially the new low-cost airlines, putting a lot of pressure on the market, they have a turnaround time of about 20 minutes. So this whole aircraft has to be handled in 20 minutes. So they have about over 100 passengers on board, cargo, baggages. So basically, as soon as it lands, we need to load or unload the aircraft. We need to find the stairs, bring it to the passengers. We have to provide a catering truck, the high deck loader, and a whole big operation in order to turn this aircraft around on time. So this is a huge logistic operation. Our focus here is, of course, the ground handling companies are providing this logistic service. Our responsibility is to help them, how can you optimize this logistical operation. At Inform, our main focus in the aviation sector is, we are very much focusing on optimizing the punctuality, because as I mentioned, there is a very limited time and this aircraft has to turn around. And if we cannot manage that, you get a huge penalty. We pay lots of money, hundreds of thousands, millions. And quality, we have to optimize the quality. The airlines are demanding that they get the best service. Also, quality is related to safety. When we are doing, or when they are providing the services to the aircraft, you cannot just load the cargo on the aircraft and the bags on the aircraft. It has to be top quality, because this is related to safety. If you do not lock the containers in the aircraft, it could be an accident. So we help them optimize the quality. Also, the cost. The aviation sector is a very competitive sector. There are a lot of handling companies, there are a handful of airlines, so they are constantly pressing for the lowest cost possible. So This is a huge challenge to balance the on-time performance, the quality, with the lowest cost possible. And that's where we come in. So as I mentioned, the solution relevant to this is, of course, before all this operation takes place, we plan the operation, we schedule the people, and I'm focusing on the real-time world now. Now the aircraft is on the ground, and we need to optimize the operation. This is how the system looks like. This is our real-time system. So what you see here is, this is the aircraft parking positions. These bars here, blue and green, these are the flights coming into the airport. What the system does is, it reads the latest flight information, and it will create all the tasks and services that needs to be provided to this aircraft, including the start times and the end times. And what you see here is all the people that the system has automatically assigned the tasks to the people. Now up to here, we are automizing this. So the system with all the rules and the parameters, we have the people, we know their qualifications, we know when they should start the task, we know when they should finish the task based on the service level agreements with the airline, and the system will assign the tasks to the people in order to provide the services. The challenges, it's not quite optimized yet. And this is where the challenge comes from. In an airport environment, just to give an example, for example, at Frankfurt Airport, we are talking about over 8,000 people operation. They have about 5,000 equipment. The problem here is, fine, the system has generated the tasks, and we are assigning it to the people and the equipment. But the logistical problem is, where do I find the right stuff? How can I locate the people? I mean, we are talking about 8,000 people, 5,000 equipment. And if you can imagine that at Frankfurt, for example, there are approximately 1,000 flights a day. So this is a huge operation. And so we had to incorporate an optimization algorithm somehow in our system to also locate where is the right equipment and where is the right person. I need to have them at the right time, at the right place, in order to complete this operation at expected quality levels. The second challenge is, once you have found the equipment where it is and the right person, which are many, which one is the best one to assign to that operation? So we had to find a solution to this, and I will demonstrate how we did this. Before that, I would like to just show you a video. Okay, you may be wondering what has a beach got to do with the aviation business. Well, beaches are crowded, just like the airport, and people at the airport, they are wandering around. So whenever you look for them, you cannot find them easily. They are at the canteen having a coffee. Some of them are sleeping in the vehicle. Some of them are even sleeping in the belly of the aircraft. And I think you can imagine where I'm heading to with this video. This video is telling us there are technologies out there which are small and sending to a device, transmits small data packets to low energy Bluetooth technology, and can be received by a mobile device. And this technology is the beacon. So we have started doing research on how we can implement such a solution also within the airport environment. So in order to solve this problem I just mentioned, starting with the staff, now what we are working on is actually taking these beacons and implementing them across the terminals. So we can have basically beacons installed all across the terminals. So where the check-in counter is, baggage belts, gates, and so on. And basically by using this technology now, we can communicate with the mobile phones in order to detect where is my staff when I need them. So basically using an airport map, I can see that I have a staff member here and a staff member here. Basically, I'm picking up this information by using the beacon technology. And of course, I can couple the phone with their names and I can see exactly who is where. Also, we can take this technology even further and we can use mobile beacons. Basically, as you see here on a keychain, so when the driver is driving around, I can also detect exactly where is that driver. So we can install transmitters, again at the terminals, and when the driver goes through these areas, our system will now pick up exactly where is that person. So the benefits are visualization of where my staff are, rapid response to emergency situations, and compliance to security regulations. Because with the beacons I can also detect if they're in the areas where they are not supposed to be, which there are a lot of areas like this in the airports. How about the equipment localization? In order to solve that problem, basically, we have come across the technology, which is what we call onboard units. And these onboard units now can be installed on all the equipment in the airport environment. And using the GPS technology, we can locate also the equipment. Again, we are using the airport map. And looks like this, so I can see where all my ground power units are, where is all my equipment on a real-time basis. Not just the localization, but we can even see what is the routes the equipment is driving, and now we can even go even further beyond that. We can check the engine status. Does the equipment need refueling? Is there any defects? Does it need to go to maintenance? What is the oil level? All this information now can be in real-time transferred into our system. One last thing is the communication. Now that we know where everybody is, we have optimized the operation, we have to send them the tasks. What do we need to do here? So our system, as I mentioned, will create the tasks and automatically assign it to the people. But now we also have to track the status of the task. Did they start on time? Did they finish on time? So in order to optimize the communication processes, I will not go through the whole list. Basically, again, we have looked into the market and we have seen that there are many possibilities here. We can use PDAs, mobile devices, tablets, fixed-mounted devices, and so on. And we can use our software, configure our software on these devices in order to communicate the information we need to communicate to the operational people. Conclusion, by using all these existing technologies, that is actually not our core business. As I said, we are not in the hardware business. We can add value to our solutions for the customers. And that is exactly what we are doing. So this was our real-time system, but now because of the use of these other products from the market, like the beacons, the tablets, communication devices, and so on, now we have integrated, enhanced our software to even see the airport map, and basically now the system takes a look where the people are located, and it will find the closest people with the right qualification and assign it to the aircraft optimally. As I mentioned, hardware is not our business, of course, so we had to go out there and look for the experts who are specialized in these areas in order to help us to enhance our product. And we are in need of quite a different devices. We need mobile handheld devices. We are in need of beacons. We are in need of onboard units. And basically, this has been leading us to talking to Advantech, as they are the experts in this area. And this is where our partnership and cooperation has begun. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you very much for inviting us here and sharing this with you, also sharing all the information you are providing. And thank you very much. This was my presentation.